So now, a new topic that I've seen has been getting talked about a little bit within the Louisiana Creole community is the Cajunization of SouthWest Louisiana, which is what we call the 337. That's our area code, the 337. New Orleans has its own area code, 504, whereas the 337 covers multiple cities within Southwest Louisiana. It covers Lafayette, it covers New Iberia, Opelousas, Maurice, Abbeville, etc., etc. I believe Lake Charles as well, if I'm not mistaken. And typically, like I went to Lafayette the other day, right? And when I got into Lafayette, there was this big sign I saw. And it said Lafayette, Creole and Cajun country. But then sometimes you'll see other signs that just say Cajun country, and you'll see Lafayette promoted as Cajun country, or you'll see the 337 promoted as Cajun country. Sometimes you'll see it say Creole and Cajun country, and then sometimes you'll see it just say Cajun country, but you almost never see any type of branding that only says Creole country. You never see that. If you do see Creole country, it always has Cajun in front or after it. Always. You know what I'm saying? It never fails. And that has to get talked about. That needs to get brought up. When I went to Lafayette that day, we drove past the Cajun Dome. And there's the Cajun Dome right here. Right? New Orleans has the Superdome, whereas Lafayette has the Cajun Dome. This is our version of the Superdome. New Orleans has the Superdome. We got the Cajun Dome. I actually finished trade school, and I will be graduating at the end of this year. And this is where my ceremony will be taking place, at the Cajun Dome at the end of this year, sometime in December, right before Christmas. And this is where my ceremony will be. It'll be at the Cajun Dome. Right? But really, it should be called the Creole Dome. It shouldn't be called Cajun Dome. It really should be called Creole Dome, not Cajun Dome. You know, and these are the things that got to get talked about. You see, one thing that I've noticed about the Cajuns and the 337, especially when you go to Lafayette, you go to downtown Lafayette, you go to Lafayette in general, even where I'm at right now, right? One thing that the Cajuns have done is they promote themselves, man. I've seen the Louisiana Creole flag before, but I've maybe seen it a handful of times, man. You don't really see it too often. The main time I really see it is when I get on the internet, when I get on my phone, when I get on my computer, when I log into social media. Then I'll see it, but out in person, out and about, I'm not really seeing this flag. Have I seen it before? Yes. Do I see it often? No. But you know what you do see a whole lot? You definitely will see that Cajun flag. You see it on the back of people's vehicles. You see it when you go to downtown Lafayette. You see it on every street corner. They promote themselves. You see it on billboards on the highway. They promote themselves. We got to start promoting ourselves, man. I want to see this flag more often, man. See, when you go to Lafayette, especially when you go to Lafayette, but when you're in the 337 in general, but mainly I see it when I go to Lafayette, mostly. But I still see it in the 337 in general. Whereas the Louisiana Creole flag, I hardly ever see. I've seen it, but hardly ever. Man, when you go to Lafayette, man, you're gonna see. Of course, you're gonna see the American flag, but you're gonna see right here. You're gonna see that Cajun flag a lot. You're gonna see it everywhere in the 337. Really, you're gonna see it on billboards. You're gonna see it flying in front of people's houses, But not only are you gonna see this flag, the regular Cajun flag, but you're also going to see this flag often. Raging Cajuns. Even the University of Lafayette was named after Cajuns. Raging Cajuns. They did a hell of a good job of promoting themselves. I'll give them that. Can't even be mad at them. It's just the Creole community. They got a lot of work. We got a lot of work to do. You're going to see that Raging Cajun flag a lot, too. They got a whole college in Lafayette named after the Cajuns. So they got the Cajun Dome. They got the University of Lafayette. And it's like Louisiana culture doesn't originally belong to them anyways. Their ancestors migrated to Louisiana from Acadia in Canada. And they came down here, and it's like now they got people thinking that SouthWest Louisiana culture belongs to them. Like when, in a way, they were able to get away with it. Excuse me. They were able to get away with it because culturally they are a part of the Creole community. Right? They could even be considered Creole by some people. Some people might consider them to be a Creole people, but even if you would consider them to be a Creole people, they are not Louisiana Creoles. Louisiana Creole is its own ethnic group, whereas the Louisiana Cajuns are their own ethnic group, even though both groups are still underneath the Creole category. Of course, there's always something that could be done about that, because the Cajuns have basically, what's the word, overshadow, or if that's the word, excuse me, I think that's the word. Is that the word, overshadow? They're basically overshadowing the Louisiana Creoles, if that's the word, if that's the correct word to use. But yeah, basically, I'm looking for different Louisiana Creole organizations, and there's two in particular. And I'm going to promote them within this video. I'm going to shout them out. I'm actually looking forward to working with them and reaching out to them. And, putting them on game, putting some of the members and some of the people within that community on game with some of the information I have, some of the knowledge I have, some of the ideas that I got and whatnot, because I feel like I got some wonderful things to bring to the table that I don't think anybody else has ever brought to the table. And if they have brought it to the table, they didn't execute it clearly, and they didn't put it in the same format that I'm going to put it in. They always say there's nothing new under the sun, and that's true to an extent. That is true to an extent. The things that I'm thinking of, preservation, promotion, these are not new things, but the format that I'm putting it in and so on and so forth is new. It's authentic. Nobody's ever thought of it before. And, that's what I have to bring to the table. Another piece of information that I came across was the fact that, and this is something I've been noticed and been peeped out, right? We look at a lot of people's license plates here in the 337. Look at their cars, look at their vehicles, right? A lot of people have Cajun stickers or Cajun brandings on their vehicles. They even have it on their driver's license cards, their driver's IDs. Some of them, some people, right? So I went over it. This was actually a law that got passed. This was something that got passed through the Louisiana government a few years back, right? Louisiana drivers can add "I'm a Cajun" in black text below their photograph on a driver's ID card. The option costs a $5 annual fee, which funds French language scholarships and keywords. And it does not, I repeat, it does not require an ancestry background. Now, see, that's major. That's a major flaw. That's a major flaw right there. And I actually came up with an idea. I actually want to do this for Louisiana Creoles. I want us to do this, but I want us to do it in a more strategic way. I don't just want any and everybody being allowed to put this on their ID cards. I want it to be allowed on both regular IDs and I want it to be allowed on driver's IDs. But I want us to require an ancestry result. You got to prove that you're Louisiana Creole or of Creole descent. See, I could prove it through Ancestry.com, through 23andMe. I could prove it through my genealogy. I could prove it. Right? It's proven already. So you got to prove it. See, these are the types of things I want for our community. See, anybody in Louisiana could literally just go to the DMV and put "I'm a Cajun" on their driver's ID. And I could do it right now, even though I'm not a Cajun. See, that's the flaw in their system right there. That's where they messed up at, in my opinion. And that's exactly where we could take advantage and do it the right way. So now you know for a fact if somebody has "I'm a Louisiana Creole" on their ID card, you know for a fact that they're a Louisiana Creole or of Louisiana Creole heritage because they proved it with the ancestry test. Ancestry.com is one way you could prove it, and I'm pretty sure 23andMe is another DNA test you can take to prove it. Ancestry.com for sure, because I did it already, and it proved that I am of Louisiana Creole heritage. So this is what I want for our community. We just got to do it in the right way. We can't just allow any and everybody to just go to the DMV and put that on their ID card for a fee. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, sir. We got to have more pride than that. We got to, gatekeep our identity. Can't just let anybody just come and claim it. And that's what I want for us.